Welcome. I'm Alice Alicia Jones, and this is another one of my Living Consciously videos. I'm going to address a subject today that has been very close to my heart publication. I took a great deal of my life, 16 years to be precise, and to write and edit a book, produced what several people who I totally value were very, very keen about, and but made certain mistakes. And I'd like to share the things that I've discovered that work so that other budding artists out there can save steps in their life. Not only did I take 16 years to write and edit my book, I just let it lie fallow for 4 additional years. That's 20 years. That's the same length of time that the author of Gone with the Wind took to produce Gone with the Wind. And I know that in the writing and editing process, I had tremendous um, there were times where I had tremendous uh, hints of what I should do, tremendous encouragement from my own guides, tremendous uh, uh, ideas that would come forth. And so, but then there were other times where I would go months and months and months and not touch my writing. I don't recommend that you do that. One of the things that you're before you even start, and that's what I'm going to cover today, is how your beliefs will affect what happens to you in the writing process. One of the things that I knew somehow from the bottom of my heart that there was something very fearful inside of me every single time that I thought of publicizing my writings. There's no point in you writing a magnificent treatise, a magnificent essay, a magnificent book, a magnificent poem, and then not having anybody hear it or read it or listen to it. So I was, I think that I always use myself as an example for why things work out there and don't work. So I finally recognized that after so many years of trying to work with various avenues, various streams of publicizing my writing, there was still something that was holding me back. So I had to examine what it was that was constricting me. And what I discovered is beliefs. What you believe to be true for you. Doesn't matter what anybody else believes about you or for you. It's what you believe about yourself. And in doing a meditation, sitting very, very quietly and going into meditation, I asked the question, what belief is holding me back and keeping me from wanting to publicize my work? And the belief that came forward loud and clear, and I heard it in my mind's eye, was that an This might sound ridiculous in this day and age, but maybe not for some cultures. I will be stoned to death. And I recognized immediately that this was a past life issue, that somehow energetically inside my bones, I was still holding on to it. As ridiculous as it might seem in American culture, in today's society, this isn't the Middle East, this isn't the Taliban, this isn't the cultures that tell you you will be killed if you don't follow certain religions. Um, this is America. And so that's the first thing that came out. And so instantly, as soon as that belief showed up, this is what I heard. I know that is not true. That happened in a past life. Unfortunately, what's happening in a past life is happening now because all time is now. So, therefore, I have to change that past life. I have to not get caught. That's the first thing that my guides came in with. If caught, I have to escape. I know what holds me back when I know what holds me back. If I know what holds me back, I can clear that immediately. Because the second you can recognize it, you can eliminate it. It's bringing it to the surface. It's just like when I found out the other day that the main cause of cancer, of why people get cancer, is because they're holding on to grief and they stuff that grief back into their body. I had heard variations of that, but not quite as poignantly as that. So, by stuffing grief back into your body, what do? You cause the cells to become abnormal. Recognizing it, understanding it, seeing it for the falsehood that it is am I under any circumstance going to be stoned to death in today's society? No, not in my culture. Okay. So do do uh let's see what else. Oh, the second belief, and this was almost identical. I mean, it was identical to the first. It was that I will be tortured to death for sharing my information. And in sharing my information, the same things applied. First of all, you have to recognize what is that belief that's holding you back. That can only come from you. And that can only come from you going into deep meditation within yourself. Give yourself the time, the energy, the ability to dredge that up out of yourself. You can't get information like this if you're on the run, if you have a couple minutes to spare. You really have to start with a very sincere desire to eliminate that what holds you back. So many of us have great ideas and we abort them. So many people, and especially now in the United States, we are so in need of people who absolutely can come forth with a better solution to what is happening. So, the next thing that I wanted to share was, and this was very, very interesting. All the people who have hurt me in the past are in my life now. Every single person who has ever been around me, every single soul. And because that is how life works, that is how we present ourselves to this plane. We come in with the intent to figure out something that we want to do. And it doesn't really have to be a biggie. Mine, I feel, is a biggie in this lifetime. It could be that I want to come in to make the world's best cherry pie or the world's best brownies. And that's okay. I want to come in just to relax and enjoy this beautiful place, and that's okay because every fourth or fifth life we choose for ourselves is a resting life, and we have the right to relax and enjoy and have everything go right. We don't need to learn lessons every single time we come here. Um, so it was interesting to me because I know that at various times in my life, I have been surrounded, I have been in a group of my friends, and I would hear, because of the circumstances of what the event was, I would hear I would go into an altered space in the middle of uh, an event, and I would hear, crucify him, crucify him. And I knew that I was caught in a throng of people that were screaming for my death. And one time I had a dinner party and I heard the words, "Can you believe she is at your table?" And I looked over at the person that I was directed my focus to, and all of a sudden she was gone. But what I saw was a Roman legion soldier who was presiding over my crucifixion. That all needs to go. That all needs to be cleared. And if that energy is still living, breathing, having a life inside of you, that has to go. How do you release it? Just, first of all, you have to identify it. And then you recognize it for what it is. You recognize it for the illusion that it is. That it was there in that lifetime. For whatever reason, you accepted that fatality, but you don't have to accept it now. Um, does anybody in my current lifetime have the power to take my life away now? Absolutely not. I cannot imagine that any single one of my acquaintances or friends would show up at the doorstep with somebody who was willing to take me away. That is incomprehensible to me. Let's see. I always get found that when faced with an impossible task, that I would get very, very tired. I would want to lay down. I would want to um, just escape. This was my form of escapism. And so I encourage you that once you clear this for yourself, once you clear the beliefs, you will eliminate that feeling of dread, that feeling of powerlessness, that feeling of tiredness. And but you have to start somewhere. You have to start with identifying it. So that's all I'm going to cover today. And I will continue on this same theme next week. Uh, the Olympics start today. I wish you joyous watching the Olympics. The 2 weeks of the Olympics always brings the world to a better place. And God knows, we certainly need it. And I can remember um, the last time I saw the Summer Olympics, which was 2 years ago, and the last time I saw the Winter Olympics, there was a group of people at the end that came out with on stage, and they did not have the representation of their own country, but they had the support of the Olympic Committee. So I really give you, uh, you know, just take the time, take the pleasure of witnessing for yourself what this is, what the Olympics have to offer. And as you work on clearing out whatever is holding you back, come next week with maybe questions that you need me to cover. And you can put them in the chat box, and I'll do my best to look at them after I finish the live stream and answer them. I do thank you for being here. It's going on almost half an hour, so I'm going to end the stream. Enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, wherever you are. Love you all.